When my mother and I decided to write another Christmas book together, we thought it would be fun to set it on a cruise ship. We've both been on many cruises and have always had a good time, and we thought it would be fun to have her character, Elvira, the cleaning woman who won $40 million in the lottery and is now an amateur sleuth, and my character, Reagan Riley, who's a private investigator, together on the cruise with Jack, Reagan's husband, who's the head of the NYPD Major Case Squad, and Willie, Elvira's husband, and Reagan's parents, Luke and Nora. That's how we got started with the idea. We took a cruise ourselves to do research and just get work done without any interruptions. We came up with Santa Cruz. Well, my mother and I really have a great time working together. Half the time people don't believe it. They say, I could never write a book with my mother, but we really enjoy it. We went on a cruise to get started on this book and spent 9 days together just working out the plot and throwing ideas around. And then we just started the book. I have a laptop, so we talk it and I type it in, and then we print out a chapter, 2 different copies, and we go over it together. And then we start the next chapter. And it's really fun because we have no problem saying to each other, I don't like that idea, or that line doesn't work for me. It really is great because we're not afraid of stepping on each other's toes. And we write this over the summer. So I went to her house in Spring Lake, New Jersey, where she was, and I went to her house in Cape Cod where she was. So it's easy because during the summer, it's easy to be away and just spend the time on the book. People ask what it's like for me to write about Elvira or my mother to write about Reagan. And again, if she suggests a line for Reagan that I say, I don't think Reagan would say that, or if I suggest a line for Elvira and she go, I don't think Elvira would put it like that, it's fine. And so there are lines in this book that she came up with for Reagan and ones that I came up with for Elvira. It's basically just the plotting that's the hardest part, figuring out what's the mystery, how is it all going to work out, giving Elvira enough to do, giving Reagan enough to do. And now Reagan's husband is the head of the Major Case Squad, so he's involved. It's more about getting them all in on the story that's the challenge, not writing any particular lines. When we work on a book together, we talk it out first and figure out what the basic plot will be, and then we start writing. But characters surprise you, and things do change along the way. So even when I write alone or my mother writes alone, we both know where we're heading, but the exciting part of being a writer is when things happen that you didn't expect to happen. So on this book, we had an idea of what we were doing, but midway through we said, we should do this instead of that. And so a few things were changed. It's hard to plot out everything at the beginning until you've spent time with your characters and ideas come to you along the way that you say, this would be better than what we thought of originally. So it's a little bit of both. I don't think you can start a book without having an idea of where you're going, but you have to be free to change things along the way if you think it makes the story better.